So I'm starting here in Suffolk. This is 30 miles ride in Suffolk. Bit of an outdoor ride here, just to mix it up with Zwift. We're actually starting outside the covering barn at Juddmonte, which is a international racing stud near Newmarket, near a village called Cheveley. I'm going to do a 30-mile ride through some beautiful villages and show you Suffolk. It's going to be a gentle ride, nothing more than zone 1 or 2, but it's all about the beauty of riding outdoors. Speaking to a friend who's got a thatch roof, or has just acquired a house with a thatch roof close by. I think you get about 25-35 years out of them before they need to be redone, if you want to maintain them correctly. That's roughly the time. Let's take a left here. You see the village of Ousden. I won't bore you with gradients, but we've got a nice little 5%, I'd say, for about 3/4 of a mile. To see cars giving us cyclists plenty of room. Yeah, I'll pick it up in a minute. Hello there. Yes, thank you. Going back to the history of the area, in particular near Newmarket, it's a racing town, so there's lots of international racing studs. Near Juddmonte, we were near their headquarters, which is called Whepstead Manor. Other notable studs around there include Godolphin, who have racing studs Australia, Saudi, other areas in the Middle East, the US. Just interesting. You come out on your bike and you get to see everything. Much like you do on a walk, but you can just cover bigger distances in a quicker time, obviously. Yeah, we're just approaching Ousden here. Not much to see, but it's just glorious. Very fortunate with the weather for early September. I think it's 25 degrees today on a lovely Sunday. Yeah, Newmarket's steeped in history. It became a racing town when one of the kings of England, don't quote me who, it's not for this bike ride, as a hobby wanted an area of land where he could literally with his friends race horses. Started, I believe, with Cheveley Park stud. I want to say it's the 18th or 17th century. Don't catch me in the comments on these facts, but Newmarket grew out of that. Racing became a thing, and hence it's the sport of the kings. That's where the nickname comes from. But if you get an opportunity to go to Newmarket, the National Stud is a wonderful place to visit while you're here. Right, we're approaching a 10%. for about 500 metres, so I'm going to have to turn the camera off. So a bit of history here. There's a little deserted village with an old church just in front of me, and I can't quite show you because of the woodland. We'll get in there, and there's a deserted church. The village of no more than 60 people. The village is called Silverley, and those 60 people literally got up, took their belongings and left because of the plague all those years ago. Check it out on Wikipedia for the details on the years, but there's an abandoned church ruin within that area, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and a lot of history. There you go. Just finished that 10% hill. It's okay, but stretch the legs, get the heart rate up. It's meant to be a nice, easy ride, this. But Suffolk's renowned for being flat, a bit like Cambridgeshire and Lincolnshire. But on the west side of Suffolk, as I said, going from Newmarket to Cheveley, you've got some rolling hills. Not big hills, not climbs, not huge climbs. Like, you know, this isn't Rhino's Pass in the lakes, but it's just little hills. On this ride, 30 miles, I'd expect to do about probably almost 1,000 feet, 300 metres perhaps. So it's not desperate, but it's not flat by any means. An old red phone box. Getting all sentimental here, but it is nice. Typifies an English village. Old red phone box. Lots of them now have these books and DVDs, and you can just take them, borrow them, put yours in there. Community thing, lovely. Coffee shop, yoga, don't fancy that at the moment. I think they're preparing for a game of cricket. Beautiful. Morning. The clitter clatter of horses' shoes, beautiful. Hooves, should I say. I've just come to the top of a little climb there, probably 12-15%, 100 metres. Not funny. I feel alright. Might not sound like it, but yeah, those little punchy climbs. Who knew in Suffolk? Who knew? Beautiful weeping willow there. Let's just cross this road. Where are we going? Bit flatter now, thank goodness. Take a left up here. That's suspect we're probably 4 or 5 miles out from the coffee shop, Maglia Rosso. Put a link in the description. Yeah, turn here for Hawstead. I tell you what, it's been a nasty headwind today, but on the way back I'm going to be utilising that and cruising. This must be a little link road, I'm guessing. A bit busier than the other roads. And I think we're not far, probably 5 miles south of Bury St Edmunds. So in Suffolk you've got Bury St Edmunds, a beautiful market town, lots of history, steeped in history. You've got Newmarket, which, as I've told you about, built from the heritage and history of royal horse racing. And then you've got smaller towns. You've got Clare, Clare, beautiful, nice antique shops, a bit bigger than a village, a bit smaller than a countryside town. You've got Long Melford, which is absolutely stunning. Beautiful church there. Some nice boutique independent shops. You've got Kersey, which has a ford running through the bottom of it, and I'd say that's more of a hamlet. Lovely pub there, by the way. It's coming up here. So you've got Kersey, lovely little village. Yeah, so that's West Suffolk. Obviously on the east side you've got the coast, so you've got coastal villages like Southwold, which is almost a small seaside resort. Look at that beautiful house. Try and get a view of it for you. Do we go left here? I don't think we do, no, we keep going. I haven't got my GPS on, I'm doing this from memory. A bit foolish because I haven't done this route for probably 4 or 5 months. And as you can see, there's probably 30 to 40 turns. So I'm doing this from memory. Let's see. Yeah, so East Suffolk, obviously you've got the biggest town, which is Ipswich. And then you've got the coastal towns, you've got Lowestoft, Southwold, and then as you go further north you tip into Norfolk, of course. So just turn left off the A road and we're going towards a little village called Whepstead. But we're coming through absolute, this epitomises Suffolk for me, this little village. And I'm going to go slowly because I'm very nosy and fascinated with how beautiful some of the houses are. You can hear the birds singing. We'll just tootle through here. Gorgeous old houses here. I almost don't want to rush through here. I'm not in a rush to my destination today. It's Sunday, it's a non-work day. I'm going to relax. scenery. Being on my bike, I can do that, and I can do it at my leisure. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. What we haven't seen yet are the classic. Oh, there we go. Right in the queue. You see the pinky coloured render. That's a tradition almost. Oh, donkeys there. That's a tradition in Suffolk. I'll just let this car go so you'll be able to hear me. Oh, what have we got here? That's gorgeous. It's beautifully manicured, the roadsides are. I almost want to walk here. I'm going too quickly cycling. These delightful little cottages, steeped in history. Beautifully manicured gardens. Ah, so Suffolk. Going back to the colour of the render, that originates from the traditional way of the line render, and they used to use pig's blood, I understand, as the final paint coat, and hence you get varieties of reddy orange rendered cottages. They're absolutely beautiful. In contrast to that, you get that beautiful colour. Even the old dilapidated barns look fantastic. But yeah, this is just so typically English riding along here. There's many of these villages in the British Isles, and we perhaps take it for granted. We shouldn't take it for granted because we have all this on our doorstep in the UK. Look at that. I've ridden the length and breadth of England and Wales, not in Scotland, but there's so many cycling trails and roads and villages like this. I should be out more often, but you get caught up in your work life and then you have so little time to exercise, so the convenience of jumping on your bike in the shed for 20 minutes and doing 600 calories is quite attractive, especially in the colder months in the UK. It's open fields, gorgeous. Need to be careful here because I think there's a turning coming up. I don't want to miss that. There's so much to show you. I'm going to get a professional GoPro in the coming weeks. Look at that. Stunning. Right. Heading towards Chevington, Bury St Edmunds. A couple of ways you can go here, but I like to go on these back roads, especially on a Sunday, because there's nobody on them. Look at that. Beautiful fields, endless fields. As far as the eye can see. Suffolk reminds me in many ways of southwest France, actually mid and southwest France, just these little tiny farm track roads, real countryside feel. tractor bombing up and down them. Just beautiful farmland and beautiful to cycle on. That's the point. Obviously cycling solo today, but sometimes come out with a friend, my wife, and it's a beautiful way to explore the country, the countryside. Just approaching the only, what I'd say, dangerous A road on this route, and you've got to cross it obviously there and on the return, but this is the only bit that's not so beautiful, this A road. Oh, look at that flint render you find on a lot of houses in East Cambridgeshire. Suffolk. Just a little right here, this junction, and in a minute, there we go, another cyclist. I think he's just had his coffee, looking by the speed. Probably going about 40 miles an hour there. Here we go. Favourite cycling cafe stop. Maglia Rosso. Just had a wonderful coffee break at Maglia Rosso. Just done a quick sprint up a little gradient that was for about half a mile, and so I'm a bit out of breath on the way back now. It's wonderful straight road here. There's bits of canopy shading you, those tree canopies. Nice archway there. Yeah, more beautiful cycling. Managed to get a nice apricot flapjack, homemade, into the system. Longest shadows now. It's approaching 3 o'clock-ish, I think. There's little mysteries around every corner here. That's what I like. It's the adventure. Every little house has a story. Every little gate and every little Ginnelway has a story. It's fascinating. nice tailwind, much deserved, and I've had a strong filter coffee inside with a flapjack, so I'm bootling along. Percent of this, by the way, can't tell on the camera. I've got the brake wiped on and it's struggling. Those views again. If I didn't have the camera here, I'd be flying around here, obviously taking it sensibly. Oh, it's gorgeous. Shielded from the sun here nicely. More boring countryside, he says. Only kidding. So today was about forgetting about the power numbers, my average watt per kilo, the rate I can climb, my peak wattage on the sprint. It's about just coming out in the country and enjoying cycling on these beautiful English country roads. I don't think I've seen a car for about 3 miles, which is fantastic, just as we want it. Just cruising down here, got a bit of a gradient to go up here. Into Hargrave, as you can see. The sun's going in slowly, unfortunately. Gives me a bit of a breather though from that heat. Warm, and we're in black cycling gear, so that wasn't helping. I've had a bit of a tailwind, but I think the wind has changed direction on this return journey, so it's blowing across, which is not helping. But I think it's slightly biased to be behind me here, approaching Ousden, nearly closing the loop of the lap of the route. Newmarket 7, we're probably 5 miles shy of Newmarket, but the route we're going, probably 2.5 miles to go, and then we've closed it, roughly 30 miles in Suffolk. The route we've taken is kind of unique. I hope if you wanted to try this route, it was somewhere. Oh, look at this! Look at that! Oh. Fantastic! I recommend this route, definitely, because if you're in this area, or you could travel to Suffolk quite easily on a Sunday or Saturday, I'd recommend it, especially with a nice coffee stop, because lots of nice people you meet, they all say hello, the traffic's minimal as you've seen. Is there a game of cricket going on here, as we thought? medium pacer, right arm over the wicket, single down to fine leg. Oh, there you go. 16 miles an hour, 17. Cruising. It's not about the numbers today, for once. Just a technicality, by the way. Oh, here we go, 10% downhill, fortunately. So technically we did start in East Cambridgeshire. We had a mile and a half and then we came into West Suffolk, if we're being technically accurate, which we need to be. Beautiful little cottages here. Get the brakes on here. It's steeper than you can see on camera, believe me. Car past. Come on. It's the most traffic I've had in 10 miles, that. Very polite waiting for me on that bend, which is good as a cyclist. Getting quite cool now, so we've timed this ride quite well. Overall, probably about 2.5 hours. And I think we stopped for 20 minutes at the coffee shop. Oh, this road is awful. Terrible tarmac. Don't get this in the south of France, I tell you. I don't want to be anywhere else at the moment. Fantastic afternoon. I have speeded up a bit on the way between takes, a couple of climbs, so that I've had a bit of an effort. Got the calories in as well, but nothing strenuous. Oh, these roads! So next time, proper GoPro camera, hopefully. County, we might do Cambridgeshire or Essex, North Essex possibly. What else have we got? We're blessed with access to counties. So I think Cambridgeshire is on the border of, is it 6 or is it 8 counties? You got Northamptonshire, Bedfordshire, Essex, Suffolk, Norfolk, Lincolnshire. Incredible. Nice straight out here. Coming back towards Upend. You can see how beautifully manicured the side of the road, pathways, entrances to the studs. Amazing, really. How well looked after they are. How much effort goes into keeping them pristine. So we're just approaching a little village called Upend, which, in fact, it's actually a hamlet. I suspect there's probably 20 houses, 30 houses at most. So we come round this right turn at the bottom. So on either side you have various studs. You've got fitted stud, just there you go, and you have the accompanying houses and the living quarters for the people who work here, the ground staff, the trainers. Look at that, beautiful. Again, you get the flint walls and render. This is one of, it's so underrated, this village. It's absolutely beautiful. Upend, strange name, but a wonderful place. Quiet, picturesque. Lots of these little cottages, some thatched, some converted to more modern tiles. And then the centre of the hamlet we approach in a minute after the pink wash house. Look at that, gorgeous little cottage. Little brook running through, stream running through. Oh, this is for sale, it's got my name on it there. Oh, sale agreed, unfortunately. This is the elevator point there, gorgeous. And we can go that way to Lydgate, but we're going back to Cheveley. Here we are, coming back to the start. Beautiful. That's one of the houses owned by one of the trainers. On the left we've got, these are the grounds of Juddmonte, and Juddmonte famously hosts one of the most revered studs in racing history, Frankel, and obviously people come to get their mare covered by Frankel, and it's not cheap. On the left we're going to come past Hawstead Manor in a minute. Here we go. How beautiful is that? Scaffolding on it. Who knows?